How do I move on without feeling like a piece of shit? So eloquently put, and I totally get it. I want to know, why do you feel like a piece of shit for moving on? What part of you, what story did you tell yourself? At what point in your life, at what point in this stage, in this relationship, did you tell yourself and learn that leaving them and moving on makes you a bad person? Where did that come from? Let's get clear on that first. Any advice for dealing with depression and loneliness? Depression and loneliness, think of those two things as a state of being or a condition. Depression, if it's clinical, is a condition. So if you're dealing with a condition, then you need something to help with that condition. So if you are clinically depressed, you can medication, you can talk to a therapist. There's a lot of different modalities for dealing. Loneliness is a state of being. Loneliness is what you told yourself. You said you're lonely, you feel alone. That's a state of being. So how do we get out or deal with a state of being? We become a different state. We become peace. We become joy. We become happy. How do we do that? We do a lot of work on ourselves. What's holding you into this place of being lonely? Are you feeling lonely because you feel like you need somebody in your life in order to feel fulfilled? You told yourself, I need somebody. And if I don't have anybody, I'm lonely. So where did that come from? Find out where that comes from. And then you can heal that part of you that told you that the story is, if I don't have someone in my life, I'm lonely. I was lonely when I was with the narcissist. I was lonely when I was married to him because I didn't feel connected. So if you feel disconnected, you're attaching connected with loneliness, meaning that you just need to feel some kind of connection. Maybe it's a spiritual connection. Maybe it's a connection with God. Maybe it's a connection to your pets, your kids, to writing, to dancing, a form of self-expression. Finding out what that is that's creating loneliness so that you can deal with that thing and then shift the story out of loneliness. How do you tell the narcissist that you're leaving them? You don't. You just leave them. Just as a caveat, depending on how safe this person is, how dangerous this person is, there's a lot of ways that you can protect yourself while you're planning on leaving. But my advice to you is to plan in silence. You don't let them know that you're leaving, because they'll do one of two things or both. One, they'll start being really nice to you. And it's going to confuse the hell out of you, because you're going to think that they've changed. So they know you're leaving, so they're going to say all the things, do all the right things, be a certain way so that you get tricked into staying. Or two, they get really dangerous with you, harm you, threaten you, and sometimes they act on it. If you do want help planning an exit strategy, getting out safely, what I'll do is I'll take a look at your situation. You share that with me. And in a session, we can plan an escape or an exit strategy. Some people want to call it an exit strategy. For me, it definitely felt like an escape. Like I was literally escaping out of jail. And then when I finally left, it felt like a release, like I got released out of jail. That's what it feels like. You want help with that? I would look at your situation, offer you some clarity from my view, what it looks like from my view, and then give you tools, practical tools to move forward and take those steps to have a life of your own that's not dictated and controlled by somebody else.